Lyme disease is a tick-borne illness caused by the bacteria Borrelia Burgdorferi that is usually transmitted through tick bites. Unfortunately, around the world, it's considered a very easily treatable condition. You just simply write a prescription for antibiotics and it should be the end of it. However, in my experience using biomagnetism and the bioenergy work that I do through muscle testing and other techniques, Lyme disease is not as simple as that. Unfortunately, it's a very complex condition that in reality it should be called multi-pathogen syndrome, whereby it involves oftentimes additional pathogens such as Epstein-Barr virus, Cytomegalovirus. It can involve dengue virus through mosquito bites. There can be associated fungal infections such as Candida or other fungus. It can also involve other bacteria such as Mycoplasma Pneumoniae or Bartonella species or Ehrlichia species, Anaplasma species. It can also involve Tuberculosis. It can also involve Yersinia species. So, in summary, Lyme's is only and has only been considered a one pathogen illness. Unfortunately, with all of our modern technology and everything, I believe that the lab tests have been unable to detect many of these other pathogens, and the majority of conventional medical doctors that have attended patients with quote-unquote Lyme's disease have only focused on the Borrelia, and they've missed out on all of the other associated pathogens, including missing out on other associated and very important conditions such as nutrient deficiency. Oftentimes, there are manganese or copper or zinc or magnesium and other mineral deficiencies. There are also very commonly vitamin B deficiencies, specifically B12. Some individuals that have methylation issues need additional B12 that helps and aids the immune system in detoxifying and boosting the immune system. Other patients, clients with Lyme's will suffer, unfortunately, some heavy metal toxicities. Because of all the inflammation and all the infections, their heavy metal detox mechanisms have been impaired, and so they also need to focus on and concentrate on heavy metal detox at the same time that they're focusing on their increased nutrition as well as other modalities. So with biomagnetism, the use of magnets allows for me to place them in very specific areas of the body to restabilize the pH so that certain pathogens can no longer continue to exist. Or rather, if you did experience a bacterial infection or a fungal infection by Candida, the Candida attacked certain areas of your body, altered the pH, even though you may have taken the antifungal medication and gotten rid of the Candida, well, your body's pH was not restored in those particular areas. So either you no longer have the pathogen in question, but you still have the inflammation and the disturbance in the pH in that specific organ. So through the use of the magnets applied over very specific areas on the body and placing them in pairs, you can reestablish the proper pH balance too, whether it's the liver, the kidneys, the spleen, the muscles, the organs, the ligaments, the joints, the spaces. And so that restores and adds energy back to the body in terms of millivolts and electrical potentials that the cells and the organs need to function properly. So oftentimes through our nutrition, by eating wholesome foods, fruits, vegetables, things that come from earth that already have energy with them, well, we are able to incorporate and absorb those energies. So unfortunately, when we start to cook them or microwave them, we're destroying all of those different components and enzymes, and we're changing the chemical and biological properties of those vitamins, those minerals. And so even though the best is a literally raw food, alkaline diet, well, it's not always possible and it doesn't always taste great. So yes, sauteing, cooking, heating, steaming often improves the taste, but ultimately the more raw, the more organic, free of chemicals, pesticides, the better our body's going to be able to absorb and incorporate those very needed nutrients and substances so that we can become replenished on many levels and our health can start to improve. And so when you add the magnetic energy, that adds a whole nother dimension to our body's physical. And when I say physical, I mean in quantum physics, because these have energy that they add to our bodies. But it has to be in a very precise and specific way. So if you place these on the kidneys, for example, it's going to help to stimulate and drain the kidneys. And so if you place them over certain parts of the brain or the head, it can help and aid in sleep and other issues. And so I invite you to take a look at and study and research biomagnetism or biomagnetic paratherapy more, and through, once again, biomagnetism and the energy work, the muscle testing, all of that, it allows for me or the therapist to understand what else is necessary for you to reach your peak or optimal health potential and restore your health.